Sid sadly is unable to speak today from a serious cold or influenza, whatever he's told us. So I'm going to demonstrate how to apply a surface primer white to some plastic. This is part of my Millennium Falcon. Sid has given me a lot of tips. So Sid, yes, that's the stuff we bought from 100 yen shop. I don't know what those are called, some kind of clips, kebab sticks,
Yeah.
very cheap.
No.
Yeah, okay,
All right.
yes, okay. You want to tell me anything else?
No, okay.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, so Sid says I need to hold this 30 centimeters away from the plastic. And the wind just changed direction. And fine mist, yeah? Fine mist. Okay, you got to shake it, you got to get some good wrist action happening. 30 centimeters, that's about 30 centimeters?
Yeah. No. Chip.
What do you think?
Try a little bit more. You want to kind of look.
Yeah, okay. It's quite white, isn't it? Good? Do you want to get a close up there, Luke? Okay, I'm just going to do a few more pieces. Is that okay, Sid? Yeah, it's all good. Are you really, Sid? I have my doubts. This wind is changing direction like every few seconds.
Here it is.
Is that okay? Okay, great. Okay, another piece. I found an isolated corner. So let's is that okay, Sid? Good? Okay, so this is the final little piece I'm going to do. And I just sprayed my hand. Fucking fantastic. Now, this is kind of the color I want of the Falcon. So I might leave it like this, but it depends on how the big pieces look. So I might change my mind. How many coats do you think I'd need to do?
It all depends
One,
what
two,
color.
three. Okay, so it depends on what color I want to do it, I think. Thank you, Sid, for coming out when you're sick, and we'll see you inside.
Hi everybody, welcome to Gunpla TV.
Hey guys.
It's sponsored by HobbyLink Japan, and as you just saw, Ryan has started the painting process on his Falcon.
With Sid's help, of course.
Well, I did what I could given the circumstances.
You feeling better?
A little bit, but not a lot. Hopefully I will be able to get through this.
Cool.
All right. So
Okay.
how'd you do?
Well, I think I did fine overall, except for this piece. I think I didn't keep the distance.
Yeah,
And,
it looks a little sloppy.
Yeah, it's a bit messy.
I think what happened is you were cautious at the beginning and you did the first few pieces and you're like, yeah, I can do this, and then you got carried away on the later pieces and ended up with that.
And I sprayed my hand. And
Well, that's
if anyone watched Boss Builds, Brian actually puts like a plastic bag over his hand.
Yeah,
That's very
amateurs.
smart.
Yeah, you just wash your hands.
But it keeps the dirt off it, so that's
Yeah.
a good point. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the results. But after comparing it to the beautiful photos you get
Yeah.
with the artwork, the color difference,
Yeah, I'll help you out here.
it's quite
Noticeable.
different.
Well,
It's a
that's
gray.
why I'm thinking that you're going to have to use paint and not just rely on
Yeah,
primer as your color.
yeah. So I picked up a few whites.
And what do you think about these whites?
I think they don't match this color at all.
That's right. This is more of a gray color, right?
Yeah, that's great for sure.
And we usually see pictures of the Falcon, and in our mind it looks whitish.
Whitish?
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
really realize how dark it is until you see
Yeah.
pictures of it. And when you if you compare these colors, you can notice that this is way off.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to start looking at grays.
Yeah. Now this is that's a pure white.
Yeah.
This is a
matte.
matte white. This is a racing white.
Racing white. Yeah.
But I don't think it's white.
No,
actually.
you're gonna have to start looking at the grays.
Yeah. So any recommendations there, Sid?
Depends what you want to use. I have had lots of success with this is called the Type 9 gray. It's actually really light. You can see if you hold it up here, it's pretty comparable.
Yeah.
But depending on how many coats you do,
Yeah.
if you just do over one simple coat, you might end up with this kind of color. Like this,
Okay.
it looks white from some angles, but this is actually this gray.
Yeah, and I'm going to put a wash over this anyway, so it might darken it as well.
Yeah, you have to
actually
keep
quite
that in
a
mind
nice
as well.
grey. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to go too dark because you know it's going to start looking a little off. Because we all know the Millennium Falcon is not black.
Yeah.
You know? But I would suggest starting with a light color, and then if you don't like it, you can proceed to a darker one.
Okay.
It's
cool.
important to do test pieces.
Yeah, we can test on these guys.
Yeah.
I think.
Sure.
But awesome. Okay.
All
thank
right.
you.
Cool.
What have you got to show us today?
Well, let's look at the new Gundams that came in the first week of March here. I got a pile of them.
Got a pile.
Here we go. This is the SD Gundam versions of the Gundam H1s. And in this set, you get all of them, actually. You get the normal, the Spallow, and the Titus. Plus some accessories. And you can see that what they're basically giving you is the torso for the main suit, and then you can just swap arms. Yeah. But they do give you these extra clear parts for the Titus as well.
These were at the show we went to, weren't they?
Yeah, when we went to the Gunpla Expo.
I quite like them.
Yeah, they were pretty cute. Cool. There was some speculation of whether they would be individual kits or all together as one interchangeable. Well, the answer is right here. All together in one box.
3 kits for the price of 1 box.
Yep. Yeah. There you go. As well, this one's actually really cool. This is the Delta Gundam. Now this is an HG, but it's a little bit pricier for an HG. Bandai has suggested the price is 4,200 yen. Yeah. And HGs usually run around 1,200 yen. So why is it so expensive? Well, I mean, that would be because it's gold, baby. Look at this thing. This is your gold Gundam. Look at that. This is what they call Meki plating. Gold. And what they've done is they've taken silver and put a clear yellow over top of it to get this gold effect. And people are very hesitant when it comes to using these gold kits because they think, oh, the gate marks are going to look terrible. You know, you can't touch up gold plating. Yeah. Well, Bandai took that into consideration. I'm going to pop this baby open here. And you can see that they have undergated all these parts. Oh. Undergating means that you're not going to cut flush against the side of the piece. You can go from underneath. So there's going to be no gate mark showing on these gold pieces, and that's excellent. Yeah. That's a really good. So that explains a little bit of the delay, like why it took a little longer to get the Delta Gundam after the Delta Plus arrived, because they had to redo all the molds, and of course explains the higher than average price point. When you have to redo molds, it takes a lot of money. Yeah. You can see some of these undergates are really gonna save you. Yeah. Yeah. And people had asked, is it all the runners that are undergated, or is it just one runner? And for the most part, it seems like every piece is undergated. Oh. There's some exceptions. Yeah. Some of the connecting areas, they don't need to be undergated. But Bandai has, for the most part, undergated almost every single piece. That's freaking awesome. Yeah, it's good. Wow. I'm going to slap this baby together tonight, I think. Yeah. As well, there's some extra stuff in here. Like, you're going to get this adapter piece. Pop this open here. Sorry, give me a sec. This adapter piece lets you switch your Delta Gundam from its suit form into its Wave Rider form, similar to the HD Delta Plus. There is a little advert here for the Dengeki Hobby May issue, which is actually going to come with this little kit. Really? Yeah. You get a whole kit. They're going to give you this runner, and you can make this Kestrel. Yeah, that's cool. As well, if anybody's playing the new Gundam PlayStation 3 UC video game, they give you a code you can enter, and it gives you a free playable character and a mission. Yeah. Awesome. You got lots of goodies in this box, and I'll just show the main armor parts. So the main armor parts are these, as well as you know, all the stickers and markings you can put on. So that's the Delta Gundam. Awesome. Yeah, I'm really happy when this guy came in. So I'll be spending some time on this over the next few days. But Ryan, I think there's something that came in that you are going to like even more than I did.
I'm really excited.
Yeah?
Yes.
We had broached the subject last time. Oh my goodness, look at this thing. Make a size, Ryan. How does that make you feel?
I know what I'm doing this weekend.
Yeah?
That is
look at this.
Awesome.
This is actually, there's quite a lot of stuff in here. Normal mega size, you just get the suit, you know, the Zaku, the RX-782, the H1 normal. This one with the it being the H2, you can see it has these monstrous wings on this thing, right? So there's even more stuff packed in this box. It's actually really cool.
Oh man, I am so excited. I'm so excited.
Here you go, Ryan. Here's your Duplo blocks. You get to build this.
So I'm hoping by next week I'll have this done.
Maybe. Also, there's batteries there, including batteries for the LEDs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because the LED lights up in the face and the chest. You're gonna get your marking stickers.
Oh.
Actually, this is the first time I've gone through this. I'm gonna size that piece.
Wow.
Look at that.
That is
It's enormous.
Man.
Gundams even Ryan can do.
Yeah, this is my favorite part of these kits is actually the panel lining and the weathering.
Yeah.
There's so much beautiful
This
space
is going to
work
have
with.
even more of that when you look at the markings on this as well.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm.
I'm so excited.
You get to take this baby home. I'm passing on this mega size. I've built already a mega size. I don't need to build another one.
Yeah, I love mega size.
Yeah, I'm sure your wife will be really happy to see you trundle through the door with that tonight. Yeah.
Last time she thought it was a birthday present because it happened on her birthday.
You're a terrible person, Ryan. You're a terrible person. All right, I want to show some more of that age 1 normal that we showed last week. Just give me a couple minutes to set that up.
Sweet.
All right. All right, so here's the age 1 normal's leg, Ryan. What do you think? Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Crazy.
Got lots of articulation, especially in the ankles and the feet, and not much inhibition when it comes to the armor. And of course, the knee and the hip. And we're going to look at actually how this assembles.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about the skirt first. I got the skirt here, and you can see that they have some motion here in the pegs, so you can change your leg angle when you do your posing. But what struck me about the skirt is that when you look at other Gundams that are similarly designed, the Jim or the RX-782, usually you're just slapping this yellow piece on top of the white piece.
Yes.
It works as one piece. Well, this actually works as 2 pieces. It connects at the bottom here.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Wow.
And this has its own connect to the hip, and this piece has its own connection to the hip. And it only attaches together from the bottom, and it's made to actually flex somewhat depending on where you have the legs.
That's crazy articulation,
Yeah, so
isn't it?
it may pop up and pop off and look a little unseemly at times, but it definitely does not hinder any of the articulation in the hip, which was the important part. It was actually quite interesting to put it together because you can see how these move off on their own, independent of these things. It's quite cool.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is...
Yeah. But now for the good stuff here, I'm going to actually put together in front of the camera the age 1 leg. All right, so we're going to start putting together the age 1 here. One thing I wanted to show was the actual ankle, the ankle joint. We mentioned just how articulate it is, how stable it is. And part of that is because the armor pieces don't actually hinder too much the movement of the foot. And I found out that's because what they've done with the piece that actually connects to those the armor is they let it free float. It actually slides under this big polycap, and it can move around however you want. So pretty cool. It's not fixed in there in any way. You just slap these guys together like this, and this will go in this polycap here, kind of like an HG, and then you've got yourself the foot, like so. I'm going to put this aside right now. I'm not going to worry about this part, because the part I really want to show is the leg. And there's a lot of stuff going on with the leg. Now the frame is quite different from other MGs, where you would sandwich polycaps in, and this way you're kind of building on top. For instance, I'm going to put this polycap into this hollow here, this way, before sliding this piece on, and you get this kind of looking frame. It's quite different than you normally expect. And then it comes time to slap your armor on. This is only the first part, and then of course the next part. And you can see how they give you the connector here, but the previous armor pieces also have these pins, so you can connect here. So when it comes time to just disassemble this, if you want to paint it, you're going to need to take it apart in a specific order. Otherwise you're going to risk breaking pins. And this frame, the lower part of the leg, is actually pretty cool. This polycap slides in from the back, into this opening instead of like popping in there or being sandwiched in. And then it connects in here like this, just for the lower part of the foot. I make this joint, which will come in handy later. I'm not going to show this because it's pretty standard. But one thing I thought was cool was the hip joint. With this one, what you actually do is you put your polycap in, but then you flip it over before putting the backing on. If I can line this up properly here. And what this means is that you don't have to worry about this polycap piece ever coming off again. Yeah. You're not going to be like trying to play with your Gundam and all of a sudden the leg is going to just pop off, leaving the polycap. Like the polycap, it's not going anywhere. Even if you start changing the angle. Pop this guy in here. Oop, this isn't lined up properly. There we go. Alright, so this is just the top part of the leg. With the bottom part of the leg, as I mentioned, I have this frame. It's just a matter of putting armor parts on it. So I'll just quickly shove these on. One, two, and then this part of the frame would actually go on next, but I went ahead and put it on ahead of time so that I could get this this next part done. Maybe it's this side. Like so. With this, I'm going to put on this next piece. Now this next piece, this is supposed to be a black sticker. A lot of people are like, oh, stickers, boo. Well, you can see that this piece is pretty simple to paint before you put on. You don't have to worry about it. I haven't painted it yet. I just dropped it on there. It just slides in there. We'll move like this. And from there, sorry, it's just a matter of connecting it to this joint we've already made. Sweet. Sliding it in from the top so it's in place. And then just putting the last couple armor parts on. Like this part goes. Gotta make sure I get these right. If I do it wrong, I look like a fool on television. And you can see, there it is. It's pretty cool, eh?
Amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's really fast. Okay, Ryan, so we showed in the show the Master Grade H1 Normal. There it is.
Looks great.
Yeah, it actually does. It actually does look really good. And it wasn't as difficult as I thought it would be to put together when I started seeing that the design was different from things I've done previously. And as we showed in the show, when I showed the leg, like it went together in a matter of minutes. You can you could build this Master Grade kit on your own in a few hours. Yeah.
If you're sick.
If you have experience with modeling, you'll be all right.
If you build a million Gundam legs,
Yeah, how many Gundam legs have I done that? All right. So we'll put this guy to the side here, and then we're going to look at people's questions.
Yes.
All right.
So let's get into the questions.
Okay.
First one is from Duckafro. Hey Sid and Ryan, which Gundam MG kit do you think is the most visually appealing, impressive, straight out of the box?
Probably the Master Grade Shinanju. Yeah. That's one crazy looking kit. And out of the box, it doesn't need a lot of panel lining because it has all those curves. Yeah.
Mega size.
And all the dry transfers you got to put on there. I think you said Master Grade kit.
I'm
sorry, Ryan. You did not qualify. You go back to the kiddie pool. All right. Next question.
Hey Sid, I was wondering if Bandai will package the H1 Gundam like the Kotobukiya Liger. What was all the comments?
Liger. It's like a tiger-lion cross.
Liger Zero kits. And just sell the Titus and Spallow parts on their own. That's from Shurakaku.
I think they actually might go that way, but what they will do first is release them all as their own Master Grade kit, and then if they do decide to sell them individually, they'll do that next, so that they'll sell as many of the kits as they can to the people who are willing to buy them, and the people who didn't want to buy the entire kit, well, they can splurge for the limbs and swap them around. That's my guess. You know, the kit is designed to be able to swap, so I would not be surprised to see that happen. Bandai is pretty smart when it comes to releasing stuff. Like, how the order they do. For example, like we just had the master grade full armor unicorn, and this month we get the master grade Banshee. And if they were to release the Banshee first, chances of people paying that money for the full armor unicorn is very low. People wanted the Banshee a lot, and they wanted the full armor unicorn. And if they had to choose, well, they'd go with the Banshee probably. So what Bandai did instead was release the full armor unicorn, sell it to everybody, and then announce that they were going to, you know, make the Banshee. So
Okay.
dollar bills.
Hey, Sid and
Bandai's
Ryan.
got 'em.
I have a question to both of you. Firstly, I knew Sid have a daughter. I don't know about Ryan though. My question is, how do you keep your kids away from your kids? You know, their curiosity could lead into our misery, if you know what I mean. Just curious, since I'm single. That's from Fats 18.
Well, I'm lucky that I live in a fairly sizable house. I have my own room for all my Gunpla stuff, and I have it gated off, so when my child was really young, they could not get into that room and get anything. And I'd still gate it off now, even though my daughter's 4. She's still not allowed in that room, and she knows it. And you can't build around them. Like, you drop a small piece around a kid, it's trouble. So I was relegated to that room, even though it was really hot in the summer and really cold in the winter. But once my child became old enough, I actually started building SDs and HGs with her, so she understands what I'm doing. And now I can build a master grade kit at my kitchen table while she's watching television, and she's not even interested because she's already participated. She's already done it. She knows how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, next question for Sid. Why you no like fixed posed interchangeable hand parts? In my opinion, they look better than the rest and function better since you are molded to hold weapons like the RX-78 version car. Trigger finger, 3-finger split manipulators just look awkward. Fingers become loose over time and sometimes don't grip weapons properly without the use of pegs. It's from Jim and Boo.
Why you know like basically because I do not like part swapping. And my first experience with the set form manipulators, as we see on the Gundam Age, this type, was with the Master Grade Victory Gundam. And I thought, of course, it's great, yay! You know, its fists look like fists and its hands look like hands. That's great. But the next kit I built after that was the Master Grade Death Scythe, I think. And when I tried to have that Death Scythe hold its scythe in various poses, those separate parts would just go boom, and the weapon would just fall off. And it just got so frustrating, depending on the weapon, of course. If it's just a one-handed weapon, it's not going to be a problem. If you're trying to hold that big Death Scythe and some of the other big weapons, then it starts to be a bit of an issue. And if I can avoid part swapping, I would do that every time.
Cool. Next question. Is this Dengeki Hobby Seed upgrade compatible with the RG Isle Strike?
No, it is not.
Okay.
It's only for the HGC kits, but it's any of the HGC kits, not just the Isle Strike.
Is the Cloud Breaker really discontinued? What do a video with...
I think it's supposed to be a Y.
Why do a video about it? Do FFS instead, please.
Okay, it was why we did a video about it. Well, at the time, to be honest, I didn't know it was discontinued. It had just come in. But also because someone asked a question, they wanted to see it. That's why I showed it, you know.
Okay, next. Hey guys, love this week's show. Now that the remastered Freedom Gundam is released, I was wondering, what do you think is a better kit in terms of looks? The RG Freedom or the new HG Freedom? What is the difference between the two? That's from Jimmy128.
The RG is always going to be better than the HG. There's a lot more detail, a lot more parts go into making all the little armor panels and things like that. And the amount of decals and stickers they give you is just enormous. HG is something you're going to pay 1,000 yen for, and you're going to build in an hour. Okay. RG is something you're going to pay 2,500 yen for, and it's going to take you 4 hours, and then another hour for all the markings. Like, if we were to stand them next to each other, you know the difference right away. Okay. It's just amount of quality.
Okay. Hey Sid and Ryan, if Ryan was Super Saiyan and Sid was Chuck Norris, who would win the fight? That's from Sutton629.
Yeah, who would win that fight, Ryan?
Chuck Norris.
If Sid was Chuck Norris and you were Super.
Oh, I would win, of course.
You would be Chuck. You know, I just want to say, like, you could be Chuck Norris and I could be myself, and I would still win that fight.
No one beats Chuck Norris.
We should find out.
Yeah.
I would still win that fight with you.
Yes. Of course, Sid. Hola, Sid and Ryan. I got a question. Has Bandai stopped plans to make any new HG1100th and NG160th kits? I ask because I haven't heard anything about HG1100 kits from Age and Unicorn, or even a new kit from the NG160th line. Thanks for answering. Vagabond 0.
Yeah, I think the last no grade 1100 kits they were doing were from the Seed, one of the Seed lines, and They didn't sell as well as Bandai anticipated, I think. Also, the last 160 scale kit might have been the Exia, and it's just 160 scale is huge, and people who don't want to buy a perfect grade type of model and spend Nihon on it would spend like 5,000, 6,000 yen or whatever for a 160 scale. But I think that nowadays modelers are just more demanding in what they want to get out of a model. And to be honest, like the 1/100 no grade and the 1/60th no grade kits are really low quality. Like even 1/144th scale kits, HGs, are better builds than some of the 1/100 no grade kits.
Okay.
So I think Bandai is just focusing their attention more specifically on certain lines, and maybe some others fall by the wayside. That's just the way it is. You know, as a modeler myself, I've had zero interest in no grade kits because the HGs have been so good, the master grades have been so much better. I haven't even ventured into that part of the Gundam modeling.
Okay. Hey Sid and Ryan, fantastic show. I've been watching since episode 1. Ryan, thank you for doing the Falcon. You have encouraged me to build one. So I decided next week to buy one. Thanks, mate. Hopefully you bought it from HLJ. I look forward to seeing your progress next week. Sid, thank you for showing the magazines. I will also be buying them also. Ryan, doing the Falcon, where do you recommend doing first on this kit from your experience? And what are some things not to do for sure? I can't wait till next week. Thank you so much, guys.
All right, Ryan, somebody's asking for your advice, your expertise.
I would just start on the main body. Don't start with the cockpit area because we want to spray paint that area later. And what was the other question? Do your plan your painting like we have.
Yes, I would
Test
also say
out.
just get down to doing it. Don't look at it as 800 parts because it seems daunting. Just start plodding away at it. It'll get done.
Do the main body. Like that's where most of the smaller parts are.
Yep.
And once you've hacked through that, you're done.
All right, next.
Next, as you flip through the magazine, I saw Heavy Arms Custom. Is there one coming out, and is it HG or MG?
The Heavy Arms Custom was actually a custom model made by one of the modelers that's employed by the magazine.
Okay. Great. No review on seed kit parts, neither on additional strike parts. Why?
Because those parts are were almost sold out or were sold out at that point, so I don't want to open up things that we could potentially give to somebody else.
Okay. Hey guys, love the show. That's what she said. I have a question about painting. With a lot of model kits, the paint guides, there are percentages by the colors. What do they mean, and does the order matter when layering?
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Percentages when it comes to color guides in the Gundam manuals, that means your percentage of mixture. So you're going to mix 40% of cobalt blue and 40% of metallic black and 10% of white or whatever it is to get that color you need to get the perfect Gundam match.
Okay. Also, going along my last question, in some HG kits, I'll use 1/100th HG Wing Gundam as reference. There are places like the shield, backpack, heel, and gun where the mold piece is one color, but it says it should be two. What is the best way to paint these?
Then you have to start masking. If you got one part that needs to be two, you got to start masking.
Okay. Well, that's it. I think.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Anything else?
Well, Ryan, I think you're going to have a busy weekend.
Yeah, I'm so looking forward to that, and I'll be able to show it to you next week.
All right, so next week, people already know what they're going to see.
Yes.
So I got to come up with something of my own. I'll think about it in the meantime.
And thanks for all the comments.
All right, see you later.
Cheers.